Since the attacks of the 11th of September 2001, many things have changed. Security has become an obsession in many states. Ports and maritime activities have not been spared by terrorism. The French oil tanker the Limburg was also the target of a terrorist attack on the 6th of October 2002 in the area of Yemen. Both these tragic events are responsible for the implementation of unprecedented measures, namely the ISPS Code for International Ship and Port Facility Security, which was adopted on the 12th of December 2002. We often tend to forget that almost 80% of world trade goes by sea, including through containers. Malcolm McLean probably had not imagined the impact of his invention on the world trade. Thus, following the terrible attacks on September the 11th, Americans realized that both aircrafts and ships could be used as potential targets of terrorists, but an uncontrollable ship could also be propelled into port infrastructures. They proposed the creation of the ISPS Code to the International Maritime Organization. It has been effective on all ships since 2004. This code only has a reduced scope and is limited exclusively to the prevention of acts of terrorism. It includes two parts, A and B, and 3 levels. In France, the safety certificate of a vessel is issued after an audit by the inspectors of maritime affairs with an ISPS auditor qualification. There is also a security plan that identifies ways of control, protection, staff gathering areas, the locations of the remote alarm buttons or SSAS ship security alert system, the description of the actions related to the levels of security, etc. One of the problems posed by the container ship is the nature of the goods transported, but also the containers supposed to be empty. There are mistakes on the nature of the freight. Sometimes the dockers believe they have loaded a container full of windshields, and finally it turns out to be full of stores. Given the lack of staff and the need of not to slow down the trade flows, the effective rate of containers controlled only reaches 2 to 3%. For example, in the port of Le Havre in 2015, no less than 7,040 containers were handled in the port per day. Controlling such a number of containers is not easy. Customs have to use probabilities calculation. They can either scan the boxes or open them. The identification of an object or indeterminate substance in a container that can be used to make an explosive device can be difficult without opening the container. In a report of the OECD, we can read that the large-scale terrorist attacks in the US port, characterized by the mere discovery of a bomb in a container, could cost about $58 billion to the global economy.